Holiday week. Well, this week's not a holiday week. Man, I shot my load out of the gate right there. Next week will be a holiday week. Getting ahead of myself. I think there's so much on my plate these next couple of weeks. I don't know where I'm at. I really don't. This week, I have my parents coming into town on Thursday. They're going to stay a few days. That weekend after, got to go to my brother-in-law's wedding. So I really don't know where I'm going. I just know that I'm on like a full sprint now to the end of May and a full-on sprint to start the month of June off. Because not only do I have my brother-in-law's wedding, have in-laws coming in town in June too. So I'm like, oh man, so much is coming up right now. It's just that time of the year. You have weddings to go to. You have graduations to go to. You have graduation parties to go to. Now, graduation parties are where it's at. They always have good food. They always have plenty of drinks. And you get out of that party at a reasonable time, right? You don't have to feel obligated to stay for the whole thing. You can just kind of come and go, grab some free drinks, head home, and then you had a great day. It's even better if it's a family member's graduation party that you're going to and they offer leftovers to take home. Because then you won't have to cook dinner that night or have lunch that next day either. You got that taken care of from going to that graduation party. I don't know anyone that's graduating, but I would love to go to a graduation party just for that fact. I don't want to communicate with people while I'm there. Just wave hi from across the room as I'm stuffing my face. Maybe that would be the key. Just eat the whole time so that way people can't bother you. Seems like people been eating a lot of Taco Bell lately, though, because that Mexican pizza came back last week. Came back to the general public on Thursday. You could have gotten it a day early if you had the Taco Bell app, which I do have the Taco Bell app. Because I'm a fatty like that. Have to have the fast food at my fingertips. But I tell you one thing. I wasn't rushing to Taco Bell to go get that Mexican pizza. I haven't been to Taco Bell since because the Taco Bell that is closest to my house has had a line around it, it seems like, since Thursday because everyone is going there to get the damn Mexican pizza. Here's the thing. The Mexican pizza ain't that good. It's not that good. You can make it at home better and just make yourself a regular ass tostada. If that's what you like is a Mexican pizza, just go to the store, go get some tostada shells, throw some beans down, whatever type of meat you want on top of that with the little enchilada sauce. Like they call it pizza sauce because I keep seeing TikTokers that work at Taco Bell, like, yeah, this is the pizza sauce. No, it's enchilada sauce, okay? Or it might even be Ortega sauce, the taco sauce that they use. Just use all that to make a tostada. It's going to be so much better at home. You don't have to worry about sitting in a long drive-through line right now because everyone and their mom is still trying to get the Mexican pizza. Here's my prediction for the Mexican pizza. It's going to have this huge hype for like the next 2-3 months, and then Taco Bell is going to take it off their menu again. There's a reason why Taco Bell was strategic about eliminating the Taco Bell Mexican pizza. If it wasn't for Dolly Parton, who was the other one, like Doja Cat or something? I don't know who the other one was that was involved to get the Mexican pizza back at Taco Bell. Mexicans all over the country are saying, listen, we can make you something just as good and we'll charge you less for it too. You go to a local Mexican place, they'll give you some tostadas. Like, hey, we'll call it a Mexican pizza. That's what they need to do. They need to reorganize their menu. Call it something a little different because I bet you Taco Bell has that copyrighted. And you don't want to get sued over that. But just say, here it is. And guess what? Here, you get unlimited chips and salsa too. Go in after that. Love free chips and salsa when you go to a Mexican restaurant. Can you believe I went to a Mexican restaurant? My sister-in-law was in town, and they didn't have unlimited chips and salsa to eat. They were stingy with that shit. I was so upset. I really wanted to call them out and be like, what the hell is going on here? We're not at a Mexican restaurant if I can't get free chips and salsa whenever. Yeah, it wasn't free either. I had to pay extra. It was like $4 for chips and salsa, and you only got one of it for your whole table. Horrible. That is not good. That's something that Taco Bell would do. They charge you for the chips, the cheese, that little nasty ass guacamole that they have too. Oh, that stuff is so bad. Any really fast food guacamole that you get is terrible. They claim that it's guacamole, but half of the time it's just smashed up avocado. There's no tomato, no onion, no cilantro, no nothing else to it. It's just some nasty ass avocado. And everyone yells at me when I say this. You might be this way with ketchup, okay? For example, you might not like tomatoes, but you like ketchup, right? For me, I don't like avocados, but I like guacamole. You got to make it a little bit better to be edible. And that's what you have to do with avocado. Like, avocado toast is a huge thing across generations now, because millennials love it, Gen Zs love it. I don't know what the generation below Gen Zers are. If you do, help me out on that. They all love avocado toast. Throw an egg on there every once in a while. Make it a little bit more filling. Nuh-uh. Give me some guacamole on some toast, and that will be a little bit better. Need some lime juice in that shit to make it taste good. Put a little bit more protein on there, maybe like some sausage on there. Then we're cooking with fire. Then that thing is actually good. But there's nothing really that solid at Taco Bell. I feel like whenever I go to Taco Bell too, it's a complete letdown. Going through the drive-thru, you just ramble off your huge order that you have for yourself. You spend about $20 for yourself. If you don't spend $20 for yourself, you're not doing Taco Bell right. You go up, you order, you get that food to your house, you sit down, throw some TV on, because to be honest, that's not a meal that you're eating at your dinner table. You're going to your family room, you're going to your basement, wherever you watch TV, throw on some Netflix, and you're going to town on that Taco Bell. And then about after one or two bites in, you're like, man, did I really spend $20 on this shit? It's going to give me the shits, and it's not that good. I feel like there's always kind of that buildup with fast food. There's a whole bunch of stuff that people hype up. They put it on a huge ass pedestal, and you're like, this is just so average. Why is everyone hyping this up so much? Chick-fil-A is one of those places for me. You know what? Hold on to that. I have my top 3 overrated fast food items. Here we go. All right, coming in at number 3 on the top 3 overrated fast food items. Number 3, the McDonald's French fries. The most soggy, most nasty French fries out there in the fast food game. There's so many other good fast food French fries. I remember when we did the top 3 fast food French fries, I don't remember if McDonald's even made the cut on that one. They're just so bad. I don't want any. Actually, when I go to McDonald's, I don't even order a side of fries. Which I haven't been to McDonald's in years. I think the last time I went to McDonald's, I was in Wisconsin. Kind of just ate it when I was on the road. No, I lied. I think over... maybe over Christmas I had McDonald's because I stopped at a gas station and there was a McDonald's right next door and I had breakfast. But McDonald's French fries, they're booty. They ain't no good. Let's go to the number 2 top 3 overrated fast food items. 2 is Starbucks coffee. 1, that Pike Place blend, terrible. It does not taste good. Matter of fact, I don't even get coffee from Starbucks. You know what I get from Starbucks? I get an espresso or Americano. It's just heated up shots of espresso. That's all it is. And I love that. But their regular coffee, you're not making me spend $4 on a cup of nasty ass coffee. I told you last week, I'm all about that good, cheap coffee. I don't want to sit here and overpay for it. That's why Starbucks finds its spot at number 2 on the top 3 overrated fast food items of all time. Coming in at number 1 of the top 3 overrated fast food items of all time is the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich. The basic Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich is trash. It's not even good. I wouldn't even put it up there with the other good chicken sandwiches in the fast food war. Like, it doesn't even stand a chance. You have to make it a deluxe to make it even in conversation with other good chicken sandwiches. Because it's just chicken, the bun, and pickles. It's not that good. Everybody goes, yeah, it's really good when you put the sauce on it. If you really have to go the extra mile to put sauce on something to make it really good, is it really that good? I remember the first time having Chick-fil-A. Everyone hyped it up, said it was like the world's best chicken sandwich ever. I'm like, this is the most average chicken sandwich ever. It's good. I mean, I would put it in the same category as a chicken patty from my elementary school. Shout out Saukview Elementary. Yeah, that's what I'm putting in the same category as. Probably got a lot of hate on that one. But the Chick-fil-A sandwich takes the number 1 spot of the top 3 overrated fast food items. Let me know what you think. And I would love to know what your top 3 overrated fast food items are. Because I feel like I could have actually made a list of about 20 on that one, and I'm sure you could too. Like, you could be sitting listening to this podcast and ramble off like 10 things in a matter of 2 seconds that you think are overrated. Fast food, people love them some fast food. You know what else people really love? Is that Buc-ee's gas station. I keep seeing that on TikTok. And Kentucky got its first one about a month ago now. Maybe it was at the beginning of this month. But people are driving all over the state to go to Richmond to go to this Buc-ee's gas station. I actually do want to drive there and see if it's worth the hype too. Because some of the food does look good, but I'm nervous to travel a full-on hour from Louisville for gas station food. And I'm not trying to knock gas station food because I think sometimes gas station food can be really good. It also could hurt your stomach for a couple of days. But hey, you eat Taco Bell all the time too, don't you? It happens. You just never learn your lessons sometimes. I'm very observant in my life, right? I love to watch people interact with other people. I kind of told you that when I said having good conversations with people is something that I really like to do. But I just love to sit and observe life. If you ever go to a mall, which I know a lot of people don't go to a mall anymore, sit on a bench at a mall and just observe people. You will be amazed at what you see. When you go to an airport, man, you see some really weird shit there. A lot of strange people going in there. But I'm sure you can think of other places that you go to that you love to people watch. You know where another good place to people watch is Costco. Great place. And so is Target. Another good place to go and do some people watching. But lately, I've been able to multitask and actually see people being really bizarre at work. I get a lot of great people watching it. It could be with a customer that I'm working with or another person that is inside the store working with another coworker of mine. I love to sit back to see how they interact with someone. And the other day, I was helping some lady. She had her granddaughter in the car. Her granddaughter was older. Old enough to be having a kid, okay? And she was like, yeah, my granddaughter's out there. She was giving me her whole life story, the background and everything like that. And she was like, I'm actually expecting my second great-grandchild. My granddaughter that is sitting in the car is pregnant right now. I said, excuse me? She's, what? She's like, yeah, she's pregnant right now. I said, is she sitting in the front seat or the back seat? Oh, she's in the front seat. I said, oh, so your granddaughter is smoking while she's pregnant. She said, yep. I told her she shouldn't be doing that, but she doesn't listen to me. There's a label on there that says that pregnant people should not smoke. The Surgeon General warning, is that what it's on there? I don't know if I said that right. I feel like it is. The General Surgeon warning or something like that. Whatever it is, okay? Whatever it is. It's right there on the box or the carton of cigarettes, whatever the hell you call them. I don't know what you call them. And I was like, oh, does she do that a lot? And she's like, oh, no, not really. Every once in a while she needs to. And I tell her it's not good for the baby. And I said, yeah, you're absolutely right. It is terrible for the baby. Look, I don't want kids. I've told you I don't want kids. If you were in that situation like me, would you walk up to someone and say, hey, you really shouldn't be doing that? Or is it not your place to do so? To me, she's hurting that baby. She's hurting someone else. So in like this situation where right is wrong, when you're harming someone else, when someone is harming someone else, do you step in? And it's like, that's a slippery slope to go down because they're ultimately going to be the parent. It's the way that they're raising their child. It's totally not my place to be. But the more and more I just saw this girl who was pregnant smoking, it just made me more upset. Because like I said, there's a baby inside the stomach. It doesn't have the choice of what it's doing. It doesn't have the choice to breathe in all these terrible toxins. So I'm like, oh man, that girl's only going to smoke one cigarette. That's it. She must be dumb enough just to do it once. And you know that wasn't the case because Grandma already told me she kind of does it. But I was working with Grandma for a little while. Not my grandma, mind you, because I don't have any grandmas. They're dead. Wow, I probably made that really awkward for you. But both of my grandmas are dead. But I was working with this grandma for a while. And about 45 minutes in, I see a car pull into the parking lot. It was a granddaughter's mother who was coming to pick up the granddaughter because things were just taking too long. Which I understand. I was getting frustrated too because of how long everything was taking. But this mom walks out of her car smoking a cigarette. I'm like, okay, so I see where this girl gets it from. She saw her mom smoke. And judging by her smoking while she's pregnant, the mom must have smoked when she was pregnant with her. That's what I was thinking. I'm like, oh, okay, here she is. I see where she learned this thing from. So that lady walks into the store. She said, hey, just to let you know, I'm picking up whatever the granddaughter's name is, and we're going to head back to the house. She's like, yeah, okay, I figured that. I saw you pull in. That's what I thought you were going to do. So the now daughter and granddaughter are standing outside of the car smoking a cigarette. So this girl has had 2 cigarettes in the 40-minute time span that I've seen this girl. 2 cigarettes while pregnant. I couldn't believe my eyes. I'm like, who in the hell is giving her these cigarettes? Like, I know that it's not illegal for a pregnant person to buy cigarettes, but me and my morals that I have, I don't know if I were a clerk, if I could just hand those cigarettes over to a pregnant person. But that girl had a full box of cigarettes in her hand. She was talking with her hands. That's how I saw the full box of cigarettes in her hand. She was talking with her hands, talking with her mom, very animated. And I'm like, girl, drop all those cigarettes. Just drop that box because I don't want to see this anymore. I'm telling you, if someone can reproduce, I mean, almost everyone can reproduce. Now, there's some situations where people aren't, and I'm sorry if you are one of those people that aren't able to reproduce, but this is why I feel really bad, because there are a lot of people out in the world that would love to be able to have children, but just can't do it. Their body just can't do it. And then you have someone that is able to have a kid that is smoking while they're pregnant. This is why I'm saying there needs to be some IQ test that is done before you're able to have a kid. There has to be. Like, we can't be having that in society. And we can't have an offspring from that person that thinks it's A-okay to smoke while they're pregnant. When I tell you I was really upset when I saw that whole thing, I was very upset. Do you speak up in that situation? Do you just shut your mouth? I don't know what the right answer is there. Probably not your place to say. But man, I got fired up. As you could probably tell, I was really fired up. There's so many crazy things that I observed this week at work. Another one that I observed is I don't think millennials are the only generation that are the entitled generation. Everyone says that about millennials. Oh, you're just entitled. You're entitled. You're entitled. And when I look at other generations and the way that they talk to other people out in public, I'm like, and you think millennials are the only ones that are selfish, that are entitled? Because I don't think that's the case. And to be honest with you, I don't see it a lot with younger kids. I see it with the older generations. Like, what makes you think that you're so entitled to this stuff? So many times, whether it be at work, whether it be out in public, I'm like, why do these people think they're so entitled? And with the older generation, you could maybe say, well, you know, they've been around a long time, so they have the right. No, I don't believe that one bit. If you're old, you should understand that that's not the way that you should act. See, a lot of things in life you were taught. Right? You are taught because you probably observed things throughout your life, and those things that you observed throughout your life, you probably, whether you know it or not, recreate that in your daily life. And I've always said this line. Oh, millennials are entitled. And it's like, well, we weren't the generation that raised ourselves. There was another generation that did that. And I guarantee you that the older generation, when they were our age, if you're a millennial, I'll say our age. When they were our age, I bet you the older generations were saying that they were entitled too. To me, it's all like the circle of life, right? Every generation says the other generation's music sucks. Every generation says that another generation's type of movies suck. So here I am, just thinking that generationally, we think other things are terrible. Like, there's some people that fight technology. It's like, don't fight technology. You need to embrace it because this is going to be around the rest of your life. Don't fight Elvis Presley because guess what? His music back then was so popular that you're going to have to deal with it the rest of your life. It was going to be in movies. It was going to be in TV shows. Like, you got to learn to embrace things. And it's okay to talk about other generations, but don't try and trash them and make them feel like they are the worst generation. Find the things that they're good at and kind of, give them a little pat on the back for it every once in a while. Instead of just writing them off saying that they're no good. There's not any good people in this generation. And I feel like millennials, too, always get a bad rap this day and age because people don't realize that millennials, the oldest millennial now is like in their late 20s, almost 30. So we need to start watching how we address certain generations and how they talk about other generations and seeing that it's just a circle of life. That generations always thought that the other generation didn't work as hard. That they had life easy. And it's all because of how things have developed throughout the course of everyone's lifespan. You are introduced to new technology, so things become a little bit easier for you. Like, I'm sure the first generation that ever had a phone, that older generation said, "Oh, you guys don't know how easy you have it. You could just pick up a phone and call someone." Back in my day, if someone died in the family, we had to send out a telegram, and they wouldn't get it for a week. So realistically, that person would find out after they're dead, and they would find out after the funeral and the wake. You have no idea. It's so easy. And then there was a generation that was able to go to school all the time. The older generation ahead of that probably said, "Oh, you don't know how lucky you are. You get to go to school all day. Back in my day, this is what we did. You guys have it so easy. Back in my day, we only went to school for 2 hours, and then we had to go help out on the farm. You got it so easy." See what I'm saying? Every older generation, every step up, has the opportunity to say that you have it so easy, that you're entitled. Everybody could say that about a younger generation. Maybe you still think that millennials are entitled, but I'm telling you, every single generation has that. Just from what I've observed in my day-to-day life. I see a lot of stuff. I love to talk about it with you every single Monday and Tuesday, or Monday and Wednesday. I love to talk about that stuff because I think it's funny how many different ways you could break down a single interaction with a person or persons. I'm telling you, that's why I can talk about so many different things. It's because I love to observe. You should see my notes app on my phone. It's just different podcast ideas based off of things that I see happen in public. So this list is long. Real long. It's about the only thing long in my life. Other areas kind of fall short. List is short. Things that happen on Wednesday's episode of the podcast. I don't know what's going to happen on Wednesday. On Wednesday, I think we might try and do a new little segment involving my wife, Nora. We'll see if she's down for it. I think she will be. She's a good sport. She's really good at doing the podcast game with me. She's natural. She loves to talk, loves to be energetic. So I think she would like to come on the next episode. I'll see. I'm going to try and record this episode tomorrow before Monday Night Raw starts. Wednesday's episode, that is. I'm going to try and record before Monday Night Raw. So there we have it. There's Monday's edition. I hope you have a great week. Maybe it's a short work week for you this week and next week. If you did that, you're a smart-ass person for doing that. I'll talk to you on Wednesday here on The Luke Kelly Show.